Hey everybody, Steven here, playing Subnautica Below Zero, and today looking at the latest updates to the game. And we have a lot to cover, so just because I'm taking longer breaks between when I'm covering these things, they tend to stack, and a lot of it is optimization. They're just trying to optimize this before the game actually comes out. But with this, we actually have a handful of new things that I want to cover. Some of this has been in for a while, but just because I haven't been covering it quite as closely, just because I don't want one video covering one minor thing that they've tweaked, we get to cover some stuff that's been in game for a couple weeks now. So we are at the Mercury II here. This is the crashed ship part 1. We have the larger chunk down there, and then we have another one over there. Let's see if we can float inside of this thing though. So one of the adjustments is
Detecting stern of an astronautical Soltrans vessel nearby. Vessel name Mercury II. Inoperative.
I believe that line's been in there for a while now, but the PDA's here.
I can only do repairs in spurts, and it's so inefficient. The larger tools seem to set off seismic activity nearby. A crew came back telling stories of gigantic worms burrowing in the ice. I don't know what they were going on about. They were hypothermic and frostbitten because they walked back to avoid angering them. The ice shelf is probably a bit unstable and they got disoriented or something.
Oh.
To borrow from Diana, Orion's belt thermocouplings are not meant to be worked on in 20-minute
I'm going to
spurts.
stop that. So I don't want to spoil all of it, but all of the Mercury logs are in-game now, and they have the voice work with them. So you get to actually listen to all those. If you collect them, get to hear more about why the crew is missing or no longer here. We also find copper wire scattered throughout. We have copper wire and then metal salvage in here. See if I can find the metal salvage. There we go. And looking at the metal salvage, also the update to the texture too, because now it looks rusted versus just like the regular metal salvage here, because it's been sitting here for a long time. So we have that. Nice little update. And then with this too, just why the notion of why is this here? That's one of the things that I was sitting there with. And I'm wondering if people are thinking that the logs are going to be specifically about that. And they're not really about that because they were shot down by the quarantine enforcement platform that you see in the first game. So really the logs are in regards to trying to survive and trying to get off of the planet, which I thought was really interesting. Because part of me was thinking they were just going to be logs about what the crew was doing before and then crash landing here and that's about it. Alright, let's see if it's... This is a new track that's been playing the whole time, by the way, Saltwater. And I think I just said that right at the end. But the track that was playing was Saltwater, that's a new track. Once again, these things have probably been in game for a little while. The voice logs have been in for a couple weeks now, I believe. Ben finished the soundtrack a while ago, but I'm still discovering new songs, which is awesome. We also have gamma correction, so the preset for gamma has been adjusted. So when you go into graphics, I have mine turned up a little bit just because of the monitor that I'm using, but with this they've actually tweaked that a little bit. There's supposed to be an update to the UI where it's supposed to have panglings instead of anything to do with Altera, but I haven't been able to find it, so I'm still looking for that. Next, let's float out of here. And I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit. I need to get a base built, and then we're going to build a sea truck, because there's a new sound effect. It's not a new sound effect, but they've applied a sound effect for getting that completed. So let's jump to that. Alright, so we have our mobile vehicle bay maker, and with this, let's get this sea truck going. And so now, upon completion, you're going to hear the little chime of getting that complete, which you hear with a lot of other things in the game, especially things that are with the story. Right there. with the polish too, just noticing how smooth everything is, because the game's already been looking good for a while now, and obviously compared to the first game, just looking at the textures and how smooth everything is, it looks like it's even gotten better in the last month. But let's hop in here. I've noticed that the field of view seems to have been changed inside of the sea truck. It's actually more forward in this versus seeing more of the character. You can always adjust this if you want to. And this is another area where I see the polish and, once again, how smooth the character model is and just everything in the game. So looking at her hands, like, it just looks good. It doesn't look like there's any jagged edges or anything like that. Animations are looking really good. Yeah, it's looking really, really good. So we have this. Let's go hit a fish. So it's minor sound effect now when hitting. That was it. So that's been added. You hear like that little squishy sound when you hit fish now. Smaller fish. So we have that. And that's really the big ones for this. I think there was an update to the thruster sound effect, and we'll check that out really quick. Which you don't need to make these parts inside of the vehicle bay anymore. Let's do this right here. So let's get afterburner, sorry. Let's get our afterburner going. Horsepower upgrade. Perimeter defense. We'll just check that out. See if maybe they were tweaked also. Alright. Oops. Don't know why I did that. Alright. Let's try it out. Woo! Alright, let's go back to day. I can't see. See if it changes the sound. No. I don't know if that sound's been tweaked or not. It may have, where you hear like it ramping up and then coming back down. I know the explosion's always been there. And you can hear the afterburner. And then when it lets go, yeah. So that's going to be it for the sea truck. All small stuff, right? So let's hop out of here.
Warning, passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
So another new track. Actually, what track is this? Purple vents? No. So let's see if this works. There it is, World Edge. So, World Edge, music biome, but the track is Spectre. So another new one from Ben here. Like I said, it's probably been in game for a while since he's completed the soundtrack, but I haven't covered it. So I'm going to let this play. Let's see. Another one is... it'll float up towards the top now as you throw it in water. Whoa, whoa. Did that just break apart? I think it did. So yeah, snowballs, you can throw them in water, but they will just float up towards the top. See what happens here. It's gonna be harder to see if I turn the... or maybe not, I thought it'd be too dark for them. Yep, they just float up and then they break apart. Yeah, they'll explode. So the track is very eerie. It's more ambiance, right? creepy sounded. Alright, so let's try this. Yeah. I think they've updated that effect. I know it used to just show the smoke, but now we get the extra ice with it, right? So looking good. Alright, I jumped that. They said that they fixed some visual effects in the East Arctic. If they did, I don't know exactly what it is. Hey, fella. But they did say that also. And there's a bunch of other stuff with this, like minor adjustments. Some of them I haven't found, and some of them I go to look and I just don't quite see them. And I want to check one more thing before I end this. Let's see if this song will pop in for me. So there was another song, mineral detection song. I've covered some of the other tracks here in the Thermal Spires, but I haven't covered this one. Here we go. Mineral Deposits is the name of the song. So another good one from Ben here. Other things in game, I think it's the Fabricator base changing the lighting effects in there a little bit. It's very minor when you look at it. It's almost like the volume of the light that's reflecting off the surfaces. Trying to think of all the other, like, I'll make sure a link for the Subnautica Changes Twitter account is in the description, because that's where I'm getting all my info. But yeah, there's a lot of small stuff, and sometimes I don't even pick up on it. Like I said, I'll go to check, and I don't quite know what it is with what they've tweaked. And this song is very much, this one and a handful of other ones, like background music, right? More of like that ambiance versus a more forward track. Oh, I almost forgot this. Our Arctic peepers here. Let's go to night. I almost covered this last week. But it was just going to be about this. Their eyes glow at night now. And actually, let's take off this. So you see the glowing eyes? Look at that. Let's... There you go. I like that adjustment. Just to see those eyes way off in the distance. There you go. They start to turn like green. Nice touch. And they've been adding a lot of those little subtle things that are making the game that much better. So that's going to be it for this one, everybody, though. Let me know what you think of the Mercury II logs and some of the other stuff that I covered in game. If there's stuff that I've missed, let me know also, just because it's hard to filter out with everything that they're doing polish-wise, what is something that's big enough to be covered versus something, like I said, you maybe not even going to see it, or something that I know it's been put in game, but I'm just not noticing it, and you guys know what that is, so you can let me know. So that's going to be it for this one, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.